Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Mubarak Ali Khan. I hope all of you are enjoying good health. Respected listeners, today I am back with another exciting video. This particular topic basically is part of your Cambridge exams, that is O levels precisely as well as A levels. It is part of your IELTS, it is part of your PTE, it is part of your OET, it is part of your language cert, it is part of your Duolingo. It is also part of your intermediate exam, that is first year and second year, and it is also part of metric too. It is widely used in different competitive exams as well, and this particular topic is basically comprehension. Under the umbrella of comprehension, I'll also talk about summary writing too, but I'll take summary writing as my first step, and then I'll be going into the comprehension. So if you have any question, anything to ask, you may leave in the comment box, or once you're live with me somewhere, you can directly reach me on that too. So wasting any further time means without wasting any further time, I would like to share my data with you, and then we'll talk about it in detail, inshallah. Right. So, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Let's talk about summary writing first. What is summary writing? A summary is a brief statement or account of the main point of something. Anything, a passage, maybe an essay, a book, a thesis, anything, whatsoever is written as well as spoken, you can make summary of that. There can be oral summary as well as written summary. We'll talk about the things in detail. It doesn't include needless details or formalities. This is the key point. There is no needless formalities, no needless details which do you put in your summary. It is a record in a reader's own words that gives the main points of a piece of writing, such as a newspaper article, the chapter of a book, or even a whole book. So that's how it goes. So how do we write a good summary? Point one, maintain good paragraph structure. Topic sentence, first of all. You see that the topic sentence is basically a hooker, a driver. So, which drives the rest of the sentences, or which hangs, on which we hang the whole paragraph. So the first sentence has to be so catchy as well as so relevant. So it's important to a topic sentence of a summary to identify itself as a summary. So it should include the title, author, or the speaker of the original material in your topic sentence. For example, if you're starting writing your summary, you're saying that in this particular writing, I'm going to summarize the book, for example, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini, in which he talks about Maryam as a key character, and then you start writing your summary. Supporting sentence. The supporting sentences are the main points, and it is important to follow the same order as original when possible. You see that normally the written discourse or the writing is basically from professionals, so they maintain the order of importance. You see that they maintain their ethnological order and they go according to that. So we should not change that. Then be objective. You don't have to be subjective in some writing. You can't say I believe, I think, in my opinion, if I put myself into it. So such kind of words and phrases are just forbidden into that. You are not supposed to put such words into that. So be objective. It is important for a good summary to be objective, meaning you should not include your opinions in summary. Like your personal opinions should not be there. You should go by the content of the writer and your personal language. And also in a summary, you should be paraphrasing. You should not be using the direct quotes from the original material, and you should not be copying and pasting the sentences right from the original. Okay, so for example, if writer is saying that I am writing about let's say importance of education, then you cannot say that I am writing about the importance of education. You would say that the writer is writing about the importance of education. Now, types of summaries. There are two types of summaries. Number one, informative summaries. Informative summaries accurately convey the information contained in a text or in any other type of resource. Informative summary should be objective. Again, that is without personal opinions in presenting the ideas in the source text. There are three types of informative summaries, which are, you see, number one, outlines. You make outlines of different contexts. For example, present the plan or the skeleton of our written material. Outlines show the order and the relation between the parts of the written material. It can be an abstract, normally in your thesis or in your article, which you write in the beginning as a summary, presents the major point of long piece of text or an article. Abstracts help readers to decide whether or not they want to read the longer text. It's up to them. And then a synopsis as well, which is you see that a kind of a rough draft in which you put the rationale and all, that why I'm writing the thesis, what's the rationale behind that. A synopsis is a brief overview of an article, story, book, film, or other works. For example, a description of historical events, news events, etc. That can be done as well. Next is descriptive summaries. Descriptive summaries are basically they illustrate the original text or material rather than directly presenting the information it contains. A descriptive summary should portray in an objective way the text structure and main themes. Descriptive summaries often play the role of reviews for fictional or literary works. For example, there can be books, can be video clips, can be articles, can be essays, can be any review of a thesis or an article, something like that. So types of descriptive summaries. First of all, that is executive summary. An executive summary aims to describe a project, a specific course of action, or a business proposal when an executive, your boss maybe, doesn't have the time to read the original report. Then you write it. For example, when you write minutes of the meeting, that is also part of it. For example, an employee may be asked to submit a 10-page summary of a 100 pages long technical or business proposal. In order to achieve this kind of assignment in limited time, the employee should have extensive summarization skills. That is very important. So basically, it is a box inside a big box, but the material is same, the content is same. Language is simplified maybe, or language is got a sort of shortened maybe. Now, steps in composing a summary. This is the most important slide which I have today. Read the text for its main points first of all, and please, keep annotating the text so that you should know. For example, if you have read the first paragraph and that says about, let's say, importance of being young. So if you have read this, so just put 2-3 words on the left or right margin and say and put it over there, that importance of being young, for example. So you will come to know that this paragraph is about that. So whenever you're reading the questions, you're coming back over here, or you have writing your summary, it will help you a lot to make your topic sentence first of all. Reread carefully and make a descriptive outline. Definitely you have to do that. Write out the text, the thesis or main point. You see, normally in the first or second sentence of any writing, you get to know about your thesis point. For example, you come to, or maybe the last sentence of the first paragraph is an area in which you come to know about the thesis point. So you need to identify that carefully, double underline that, so that, because that is going to be used everywhere, and the story is going to be revolved around that throughout. For example, there was a love story in first year course that was in federal board. That was a gift of Magi. If you read the first sentence of that, you will come to know that the first sentence was like $1.87. That's all, and next day would be Christmas. So from here, the readers come to know that first of all there is poverty, $1.87 for a celebration, as well as there is a celebration going on. So the whole story revolves around poverty, as well as theme of religion is there and theme of poverty is there. So that is leading to sacrifice as well. So that is anticipated somewhere. Step 4, identify the text major divisions or chunks. Each division develop one of the stages needed to make the whole main point. It will help you. How? When you know that this text is, for example, 20% on the importance of being young, and 20% of the how bad is it to be old, and if 60% on what should you do if you are young, so you get to know about the portion 8 of that. So if you're writing your summary and you're writing 60% on importance and 20% on what to do, then you are not justifying with the summarizing of it. So you have to do it accordingly. For example, when you're making the divisions, you have to divide your summary according to the same structure as it was meant or made into the writing. Now, step 5, try summarizing each part in 1 or 2 sentences. This is a first step of writing summary, for example. Like, it is implementation. It is now you're writing. Try summarizing each part in 1 or 2 sentences. It is important. Now, combine your summaries of the parts into a coherent whole. For example, you're putting your language into that, first of all. Secondly, thirdly, to make, such cohesive devices, linkers, maybe short or long connectors you put, and creating a condensed version of the text main ideas in your own words. Now, steps to take when writing a summary. Step 1, read through the information, identify the theme, and identify the writer's attitude to the theme. Is he criticizing something? Is he appreciating something? Is he neutral to something? You need to understand that too. You will understand it by the way. Step 2, write a rough draft. Remember to write your topic clearly at the top of the draft. Use your own words as much as possible. Put away the original passage and work from your notes. This is so important, right? If you are using the passage, basically you will be taking the language too. Don't take the language. Now the points which you have, marginalized somewhere, put those points and make your paragraph well. It will help. Be sure that you do not introduce your own ideas or include information not given in the passage, and use formal language among other things. This is also so important. You need to use formal language. It is not that you be so informal or you be so casual into that. You have to, maintain the same level of formality, and definitely, since it is normally a formal work of making summaries. Step 3, write out your fair copy. Then you realize, when satisfied that you have written the best summary possible in the available time, copy your final draft neatly into your examination booklet. Avoid crossing out at this stage, and be sure or not to note the exact number of words at the end. This is the thing. For example, in writing for O levels, you require 160 words. So if you're exceeding from 160 words, let's say 10-20 words, that's fine. But if you're going ahead than that, or if you're going, you're delimiting the topic and the summary, so you can be penalized into that. So you have to be, cautious about. So that was all about summary writing. I hope you got some idea. You may pause it over here if you want to have some water or something, and then let's start our comprehension back. All right, comprehension. First of all, if you go to history, you see, I told you already that these all terms are taken from Latin, Greek, Anglo-Saxon, French, and the English is amalgamation and kind of mixture of all these. So it was a Latin term, basically. There was comprehensio, maybe pronounced differently into Latin, but comprehensio, as we could see. That means seizing or capturing. You're basically seizing something or you're capturing something out. So in simple words, you are understanding something from a bigger thing, from your own mindset. You are kind of summarizing something, you are seizing something, capturing something, and you're taking away with you, and you're understanding that. That is basically comprehension. Let's see how it goes. Comprehension is the ability to understand completely and be familiar with a situation, facts, etc. Now, in English, in the English language, a small passage or a short story is called comprehension. Like actually normally used as a test to find how well a student understand written or spoken language. That is the thing. Like you check it, you understand it, you kind of copy it, you make your own notes, and from something big you take something short out. Comprehension, like why is comprehension needed? This is a good question. You may pause it over here and you may answer in the comment box why comprehension is needed. You see, देखें एक सिंपल सी बात है, अभी हमें यही नहीं पता कि हम कॉम्प्रिहेंशन कर क्यों रहे हैं, इसका यूज क्या है, रियल लाइफ में क्या यूज है. हम सिर्फ उसको एक पक्का करने के चक्कर में लगे हुए हैं, मार्क्स देने के लिए लगे हुए हैं. उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. देखिए मेन चीज ये है कि क्या इसकी रियल प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में वर्थ है. जी हाँ है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप कहीं एम्प्लॉय हैं, आपके बॉस ने 2 घंटे का लेक्चर दिया और अब आपको मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग मांग रहा है. अब आपकी ये कॉम्प्रिहेंशन स्किल्स है, लिसनिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन किया आपने और फिर आपने राइट किया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके पेरेंट्स पढ़े लिखे नहीं हैं और आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट पे जा रहे हैं जहाँ पर उन्हें नहीं पता कि यहाँ क्या है, और आप उसको रीड करके उनको कॉम्प्रिहेंड कर रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे ट्रेडिशनल भी है, सी फूड भी है, चाइनीज भी है, एपेटाइजर्स में ये कुछ है, तो आपने कॉम्प्रिहेंड किया. इट इज एवरीवेयर. मैं आपको लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ, सारे पॉइंट्स आपको समझ नहीं आएंगे. जो आपको समझ आएगा वो आपने माइंड में रखेंगे, आप उसको यूज करेंगे. ये आपकी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. So comprehension is everywhere. So why is comprehension needed? The purpose of comprehension is to check the ability of students, practically speaking, to understand the passage and process the information provided in the passage. So you should process that. Now, how are skills tested? This is another question and a good one. like in your exams, how the skills are tested. For example, there can be fill in the blanks, there can be yes, no, not given yet, there can be true, false, not given, there can be matching the headings, matching the columns, gap filling, can be a flow chart filling, can be a picture filling, can be a diagram filling, can be a table filling. Different kind of things are could be there. So that's how it is being tested. Simply a few questions are asked at the end of the passage to evaluate how well you have understood the passage and how efficiently you have processed the information provided in the passage. And now you see the underlined words. A few questions, end of the passage, to evaluate, to understood the passage, processed in the information. You see, this is comprehension basically. A whole paragraph is being, underlined, and now I could read the underlined thing, that I could come to know that what is actually there in my paragraph. There are few variables into comprehension which you have to underline, and you will get the idea directly or easily. A tip over here, I would say, read the questions first, then reading the passage. You will understand. There will be a mind map of what I had to see. Now, level of comprehension. There are 3 levels of comprehension. Literal level. It's about fact and details. It's about rote learning and memorization, which is so common in Pakistan and Asia. Surface understanding. And then interpretive, drawing inference, like what do you understand between the lines? Tapping into knowledge or experience, your personal knowledge experience as well. Reading between the lines, as I said, and making logic leaps and educated guesses. Educated guesses. Applied. Applied is analyzing, synthesizing, and applying. You see, first of all, there is thesis, you understand something, and then there is counter argument, that is antithesis, and then there is filter of synthesis. This is synthesizing, that how do you filter down the process by yourself. And the applied one is so difficult, and normally it is not in the low level tests. So a few tips to write comprehension. Whenever you feel bored or something, or you feel that it's going so hectic or somewhere, you may pause it. You have the ability, just pause it, go out, do whatever you have to, but cut where you feel that you need to cut. Otherwise, just read it in a one go, and you may make your notes if you want. Read the passage reasonably fast to get a general idea. Read again a little slowly to know the details. Study the questions thoroughly. Turn to the relevant portions of the passage by underlining that. Use keywords from the passage and question text. These are your variables. Now, importance of comprehension. It increases effectiveness of reading and helps not only academically but professionally also, as I said. Students cannot master complex scientific concepts without it. If there are complex scientific facts, like you cannot take the language as it is. What you do exactly, you come to understand it through your comprehension. You make a long story short somewhere. Comprehension constructs meaning from the text. Skilled readers don't just read the text, they interact with the text. This is so important. They interact with the text, they enjoy it, they ask from the text, and then they learn from the text. Comprehension increases reading speed. Definitely it does. It makes us extract main idea and draw conclusion from text. Now, levels of meaning. There are different levels of meaning. Level of meaning. There are 3 levels of meaning: literal level, inferential level, and critical level. Let us take a brief look at each. Literal meaning. The literal level of meaning is any information given to reader through the facts clearly stated in the reading material. Literal meaning, surface meaning. Such information could be, for instance, the age and gender of a character, which is clearly stated in the text. For example, normally the questions are starting from what and where you have to put a noun. For example, what is the name of the game Eva likes to play? Joel likes to play football. His sister Eva likes to play football with her brother and his friends. Mother doesn't allow her to play the game with them, but Eva always finds a way to play without mother knowing it. So if your answer is football, you are correct. The answer is clearly stated in the passage. This is what we call literal meaning. Then there are, levels of meaning are there. Being familiar with the levels of meaning will help you know what answers the examiner and teachers are looking into. So if it is critical, then definitely you have to come up with your own. For example, the king had the 3rd marriage ceremony, and ball was so heavy and they were enjoying so well. They haven't said that the king was married first or twice, but from the inferential meaning, we got to know that okay, if he's mating for the, if he's you know, doing the marriage for the third time, definitely he must have got married first or twice. So that's inferential. Critical meaning: when you have formed your own opinions and judgment based on what you have read, this is critical thinking. The critical meaning is the formation of your own views and judgment based on the actions of the characters. For example, the answers lie in your value system, or they should reflect how your life will be changed by what you have read. Inferential level of meaning requires you to connect what you're reading with what you already know. Some persons call this reading between the lines. In order to master this level of meaning, you will need practice in using various comprehension stages, definitely. Inferential, it means that the inferential meaning can be derived when you compare your experience with what you read. For instance, if your experience resembles that of a character in the text, it may help you understand the character's feelings and why they do the things they do. Well, there is a plethora of material which you can use for it. First of all, thank you so very much for patient hearing. And if any kind of data you require, you may email me at mubarakali541@gmail.com. You may leave in the comment box. I'll share the practice material with you. It is so important. You see, whatsoever I share with you, that is part of the tips and techniques. That is part of the basic understanding. But there is no substitute of practice. If you're not practicing, be sure you are ready to fail. I'm so clear about it. First of all, the practice should be there. If you say that whatsoever I'll say and you will just cram that and then you'll be able to get good marks, it is not the case. Apply these steps. Apply the principles, the basic principles which I completely discuss with you. Apply the fundamentals, and then keep trying these applications again and again, tips and techniques again and again, and then you will get good score. Thank you so very much for patient hearing. Allah Hafiz. I'll see you inshallah next time. Bye bye.